Hello, hello, hello. I want to talk about something real quick. I'm tired of time going by so fast. I'm really tired of it. But anyway, I was just looking at earlier today, which is April the 8th, 2025. I was looking at a video earlier today about how a sector of the Hebrew Israelites, specifically IUIC, is it Israel United in Christ? I used to listen to them in 2014 and 2015. I used to listen to them. They were the only ones I would listen to when I was like listening to that type of stuff. But I stopped listening to them when I just saw that pretty much they just hate women. They don't just not like black women. They don't like women. They do not respect women. I don't care what color she is. They have no respect for women. Maybe they have the least respect for the so-called black women, but they don't respect women at all. And so I stopped listening to them. Because when I listen to these guys and I see men just in general and how women are just so mistreated in the world, I don't think if Jesus was white, which he wasn't, and if Jesus was black, well, I don't think Jesus was a man. How about that? But let's just say Jesus was white. First of all, he didn't come to die for nobody that came before him. So you looking at a white Jesus, well, he did not die for me because he can't die for somebody who came before him. Okay? And he didn't die for a black man either because a black man came before him too. But like Jesus being a black man, okay, but the black man ain't died for me because I came before the black man, so he still ain't died for me. And that's why, when I talk about the Bible, I know it's still a living word because I know it comes from a real organic place. And a lot of stuff has been changed over. And I want to get to the truth because it was a time where I did know the truth, but I fell down in frequency. And when you come down in frequency and you are low in vibration, you forget a lot. I forget a lot, but stuff is starting to come back to my memories. And that's the reason why I read the Bible. It's not because of, I'm not a Christian. Christian is patriarchal. And more than being patriarchal, it's more of, that word Christian is more, to me, it's more like European. So I don't get into these categories and stuff like that. But I know it comes from a real place, and that's why I stick with it. What I do is I eat the meat and spit out the bones when it comes to the Bible, because I come from the real world. I come from more than the real world. I come from a world where there is no time. And then I even come from a world before that. I come from a world where nothing was even created. It was just, blackness. I come from that far. And so that's how I know that the origins of the Bible comes from a real organic place. But coming down here to this vibration, it's been switched up quite a bit, but I'm not going to let it go because I realize it comes from something real. And it comes from, it's things that's taken from the feminine. So no, I don't, when it comes to Christianity, I don't go to church and stuff like that because a man did not come and die for me. That's not to say that I would not get assistance from a male energy, right? Like some people work with male energy, masculine energies and stuff like that. Some people work with it. That's fine. I've seen masculine energies that's been helpful to me. They help me out, in the unseen world. I've seen masculine energies that are helpful to me, but they didn't die for me. That's the point. They did not die for me. To go as far as saying somebody died for you and they died for your sins, when you came before them, I can't go for that. Because the feminine is not getting enough credit. The feminine is the one that's been sacrificed. The feminine was sacrificed for this realm right here. This realm right here, the feminine was sacrificed in order for this particular realm to exist. So I can't go with this. Some man came and died for me when you had to sacrifice the feminine even for this to exist. You then turn around and tell me a man died for me. No, you sacrificed the feminine for this realm. The feminine had to be sacrificed. So I don't want to turn around and give that to a man. And this is the problem I keep having with a lot of men. It's the lies. It's the lies from me. It's not because they're men. It's the lies. They don't want women to know the truth. They do not want women to know the truth. You know, men can get online and talk about Jesus is black all they want to and nothing to happen. But you get online telling the truth about who was really sacrificed for all of this to be in place. You find out who was really sacrificed. Oh, no. That's an assassination, and you will lose your channel right away. You will lose your channel, you will lose your money, you will lose your job. So that's what I don't care for. So see, like men are just men can be very horrible towards women for me to believe that a man died for women. Okay. But anyway, so that's why I say. Let me say another reason why I say it. I've seen some bad things when I'm in my dreams, and sometimes it's not even a dream. It's stuff that I see in different dimensions and in higher dimensions. I see where men, specifically black men, just really do everything, not just to keep certain so-called brown women from waking up. They make sure I don't wake up. I see them making sure I don't wake up. Now, I see some other women, but I see mostly men involved in making sure that I do not wake up. So now at this point, I'm refusing to believe a man came and died for me, because I'm seeing in all these different realms and dimensions to block my sight, to block my third eye, whatever, to make sure I don't see the truth. I see them blocking it. I see them trying to block it. When I'm in meditation, I literally see them in the astral trying to block it. These are men, specifically black men. But I'm supposed to believe that he came and died for me? Then why are you trying to block my sight to keep me from waking up then? Because I see it every single day with them. Every single day in the astral and different realms, I see this with black men. You can look at the music that they came out with to denigrate black women, so-called black women. That was to keep the divine feminine from rising. So if a black man came and died for you, then why are they working so hard to make sure that the divine feminine does not rise? Why are they working so hard? When they went on YouTube to tear down so-called black women, talk about her weave, talk about her eyelashes, talk about her fingernails, just anything that you can think of, you talked about her. What was the point? If a black man came and died for her, then what is the point to continuously get online to make sure you tear her down? Because she is the one who's the real sacrifice. And I said that time and time again. She is the one who is the real sacrifice. Until I see men treat women better, I refuse to believe a man came and died for a woman. Because men treat women terribly. You know, bros before hoes. They died for each other. They didn't die for no black woman. They died for each other. Now, I don't want to say the term black women. That's just the term used in the United States of America. But they did not die for a woman because they did not die for a woman because they do not like women. They don't. They don't. And they need to be in the world by themselves and stop trying to hold the feminine, because that's what they're doing. They're holding the feminine hostage so they can keep their reality going. But yet I'm supposed to believe they came and died for me. When they want to kill me over and over again for them, because that's what they keep trying to do. They want to kill me over and over again for them. But I'm supposed to believe a man came and died for me. Then what is your problem with my brother? Is a warlock. Did so much work to make sure I don't rise in consciousness. He did so much to take my energy. I didn't realize it until I got older. But he did so much to take my energy and so much spell work to make sure I do not rise in frequency. Why? Didn't a man come and die for you? Why are you worried about me rising in frequency when you can go to heaven? So you're trying to keep me. That let me know who the real Christ is. And I'm just saying it. Why they need to keep sacrificing the woman? Because the woman is the Christ. I don't care. I don't care how it sounds anymore. They need your energy to keep this world going, this old nasty world going, this old low frequency world going. They need to keep your energy. And I'm about tired of them. I'm really about tired of them. I'm beyond tired of them, because at this point I can't think about My issue is I know men need to go. I know men, they need to go. But I keep thinking about, all of them ain't bad. But you know what? Get over it. Because the ones that's not bad, they not doing nothing to change this either. The ones that's not bad, they're not doing anything to change this. So what they need to do is they need to make sure they're not going to be in alignment with a lot of the men that's going to have to go. Because a lot of men are going to have to go. I'm sick of men. Like, I literally, I want people to know that the moon is masculine, it's man-made. I've been knowing that the moon was man-made. I figured out in 2018 that the moon was man-made. And then I saw a vision. See, sometimes I can, I don't know how to do it on purpose, but I involuntarily remote view. And I remote viewed where the moon is. And it's like sitting on top of a platform. And it's hidden behind this thick, like several feet of thick glass. And it's sitting on top of a platform. And I was like, I looked very small compared to it, like I was underneath it. Like I was standing in the room where it was, but I looked so small compared to it. That means that controls me. The moon controls me. All these people with their signs, and I'm not getting on the astrology, but the moon is controlling a lot of things, and the moon is man-made. And that's why I can't get into astrology, because I know a lot of stuff is man-made. In this reality, I can't get into astrology because I know it's all man-made. I know this whole thing is man-made, and that's why I can't get into it. It's not organic, so I can't get into it. I know the moon is man-made. I've seen it several times that the moon was man-made. One time I did a little meditation dealing with the moon. And then I happened to see somebody's hand, a big hand. It was a big black hand. A big black hand. Like the black man was controlling things. See, that's what I'm talking about. They want so badly to keep sacrificing the feminine, but then turn around and want you to believe a man came and died for you. Why would you give birth to somebody for them to go and die for you? You need to give birth to them? You came before him, but you need him to die for you? Like, I'm sick of that twisted mess. I'm sick of that. Religion was for man. This religion, as we see it now, is for men. But like I say, I know the Bible came from a real place. That's why I keep it. I take the meat and spit off the bones. And that's what a lot of people do. But I'm not going to believe some white man died for me when I came before him, and I came before the black man too. I'm not going to believe somebody that came after me died for me. I'm not going to do it. Because they hijack the feminine. And I don't care how mad, like this guy Nathaniel from IUIC, Israel United in Christ. They got into a fight with the Kenyans jumped on them. The Kenyans jumped on him. Because he went to Kenya trying to get them to see that Jesus was a black man just like them. Jesus was black just like you. See, just like basically trying to say that you are God. You are God. See, they want to keep walking around like they're gods and want everybody to keep believing they're gods. But the minute you say that the black woman ain't no God, look how she acting. Well, look at how the black man act, but you still calling him a God. You look at the white man like he was God, but once you say this about the black woman, oh, look at how she act. Well, she act like that because she keeps getting sacrificed over and over and over again. Maybe if men would back up off of her and let her breathe, maybe she can become the God that she's supposed to be. I already know I cannot become who I'm supposed to be as long as men are around here. Not because I have a problem with them, because I'm seeing in the unseen world, I'm seeing in the astral world how they are working overtime to make sure I do not wake up. I see them with a warlockism and spell work. And women are involved too, but I see a whole lot of men. And the reason why I say I see a whole lot of men, because these men use women, they're using their feminine energy to help keep other women down, but these men don't care about those women either. Like, these men don't care about women. If you don't care about women, why am I supposed to believe you came and died for women when you don't care about women and you don't like women and you're abusive to women? And if you tell them this, they call you a liar. You know, but yeah, I thought about that because Bishop Nathaniel, the Kenyans, I guess hopped on him. I see that he wasn't hurt because he told the story afterwards, so he wasn't bruised up and beaten and all that stuff. So he got away his guys was making sure that he didn't get jumped on and beat down, but just trying to get the kings to understand how Jesus was black like them. You know what? That's the black man's fight. Let me tell you something. That's the black man's fight. That is not for black women, so-called black women, to jump in. That's because the black man Jesus did not come and do anything for them. Black man Jesus did not come and die for them. Black man Jesus what black man Jesus want to do is make sure the black woman, the so-called black woman, never wakes up to know who she is. That's what the black man Jesus want to do. And I see that time and time again. And I'm going to tell you another reason why I see it. This is a story about, in another dimension, well, it was called something else before it was called United States of America. And I wouldn't say I was doing a meditation, but sometimes I get into like a certain place in my subconscious mind where I hit like some kind of enlightenment. And this energy came to take me somewhere. And I'm like, okay, so this energy took me to another place. And the place it took me to, it was a room full of black men, no black women. And I see this time and time again where black men are trying to wait to be redeemed. I see this in the outside of the so-called physical world. I see black men in all these different places where they're waiting to be redeemed. I don't see any so-called black women. I never see any women. I don't see any white women either. I don't see any women, period. I didn't see any white men. I only saw black men. And it took me to this place to, like they wanted to give me a new body because they knew they needed the feminine to, they needed the feminine to rise up in consciousness. So this particular masculine that came to get me, he wasn't trying to hurt me. He realized that you needed this feminine to rise up in consciousness before the black men can be saved. Who is Jesus? And I'm not trying to say it's me. I'm saying that you need the feminine to rise. They needed the feminine to rise up in consciousness before they can go anywhere. Or else they would have been going a long time ago. And they did things to make sure nothing would mess with my body, because something messed with my body in like 2021, 2022. And they did something to make sure nothing would mess with my body again. To make sure I get back into that non-ether. Non-ether is the black man. The woman is higher than that. The so-called black woman is higher than that. The non-ether is the black man. And you see these black men going around telling women, non-ether, you're non-ether. So black women say, oh, I'm non-ether. No, you're higher than that. But see, you keep listening to what these men tell you. You're higher than that. But you listen to what these men, well, you know what, let me say this. In this subconscious mind, not all people are the same. When I got to this level of my subconscious mind, some of these people were not created until I got to this level of my subconscious mind. They don't come from anywhere else higher. That's why when you tell them things, they can't understand what you're saying because they don't come from anywhere higher than hell. They don't come from, a lot of women come from, a lot of so-called black women, they come from the underworld. And so when you try to tell them things of a different place, they don't know what you're talking about. They think you sound crazy because that's not where they come from. That's where you come from. That's where I come from. But that's not where they come from. They come from the underworld. So they don't know what you're talking about. But even when the so-called black woman is from the underworld, she still have more on her than the black man. You know what I mean? But I just feel like talking about that really quickly. And that's it, and I'll talk later.